All right, who's ready to march?
Yeah!
Who's ready to march?
Yeah!
Louder!
Yeah!
All right, I have a more difficult question for you all. Are there any prisoners of hope? Now, before you answer, a prisoner of hope, it is so taken by the idea of justice that cannot do anything else but enact and work to bend the arc of the universe that bends towards justice. Are there any prisoners of hope here?
Yeah!
All right, excellent, excellent everybody. As Selma just mentioned, my name is Enrique Gomez. I am president of the Jackson branch of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, and founded in 1909 by a multiracial coalition to advance the cause of justice. Here is our mission and statement. Our mission is to ensure the political, educational, social, and economic equality of rights of all persons and to eliminate race-based discrimination. Our vision is to ensure a society in which all individuals have equal rights without discrimination based on race. I am president of the local branch of the NAACP because I want to end the NAACP, and I work every day to make that possible. Now, what do I mean by that? You see, in the 21st century, 50 years after the height of the civil rights era, there should be not a need for an NAACP, but the NAACP cannot complete its historical promise to the nation and to the world until our mission and our vision are realized. How far we have come, and yet how far we still need to go. Almost 2 years ago, the United States Supreme Court gutted the core of the Voting Rights Act of 1965. An act that was fought for by many men and women who even paid with their tears, blood, and lives to wake the consciousness of the nation over the systemic disenfranchisement of colored people. The ruling of the current court allowing several state legislatures, including North Carolina, to pass voter suppression laws aimed at the progressive vote. Chief Justice John Roberts tried to justify the court's 5-4 decisions very close by writing, "Our country has changed, and while many racial discrimination in the voting is too much, Congress should ensure that the legislation it passes to remedy the problem speaks the current condition." How naive this is, especially in the light of a ruling of all those states with the fastest growing populations of people of color, from Arizona to North Carolina, have enacted laws that amount to poll taxes. Then Speaker of the House of the General Assembly of this state spearheaded a law that requires government-issued photo IDs to vote in 2016, reduced the early voting and Sunday voting period, and eliminated same-day registration. It prohibited out-of-precinct voting and pre-registration for 16 and 17-year-old voters who would be 18 on the day of the election. These are measures that the Voting Rights Act was written to prohibit. This NC legislation was fabricated under the false pretense of widespread voter fraud. But it is obvious now, in the light of recent election cycles, that these measures amount to a systemic disenfranchisement of people of color, of the elderly, of the working class, and students. We need just laws that expand the electorate, not diminish it. Yet there is hope. This year, the North Carolina NAACP and other People's Assembly coalition partners, along with the U.S. Department of Justice, are challenging this inequitable law. It is important that we march today and in many days to come this year, not just to commemorate a transcendent historical event, which is the March of Selma, but to remind us that North Carolina in 2015 is our Selma. That we need to make our legislatures aware that we are a movement, not a moment, and that we will remember their unjust legislation in 2016. Today we demonstrate with a march that what democracy looks like, what fusion politics looks like. on what will become a future where all human rights are recognized without discrimination based on race. And here I have a chant, more a saying, more a cry for justice that belongs not to me, not to the NAACP, but to the people of North Carolina. And it is forward together, not one step back. All right? When I say forward together, you say?
One step back.
Forward together.
Not one step back.
Forward together.
Not one step back.
Thank you very much.